area of the base times the height, yes? Now, where is the base? Sometimes it's the bottom, but what is it always? It's the shape that repeats, yes? Okay. What's the height? Sometimes it's vertical, up and down, but what is it always? 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 It's the direction that the shape repeats. Yes? So, do I have a shape that repeats here? Does that shape exist at the front where we see it and at the back where we don't? This pool doesn't look like this with this same wall in the back. It does, doesn't it? So the yellow is a shape that repeats, yes? So that makes it a base. Agreed? What direction does the shape repeat? This way. So what does that make that? What does that make that? What does that make that? Right, because the shape repeats backwards into the paper. Excuse me. So, if I know that yellow area and I multiply it by the height, do I get the volume? Of course I do, because it's a prism. How do I find that area? Well, what shape is that?
A rectangle.
It's a rectangle and a triangle, isn't it? If this is 1, how far is this? If this is 1, how far is this? 1. This part that's highlighted in black. If that part is 1 and the whole thing was 8, how long is this little bit down here? 7. How long is this? 15. So what's the area of the rectangle here? Length times width. What's 15 times 1? 15. So I got 15 meters squared. And what's the triangle? Base times height divided by 2, right? Base is 7, height is 15. 7 times 15 is 105, divided by 2 is 52.5, right? So the triangle is 52.5, meaning this whole front is 67.5 meters squared. Is that the area of the base? Is it? Is that the area of the base? Yes or no? This requires a yes or no from somebody. Why? You know, I always do that. I can't believe you fall for it still. I always ask for an answer. Somebody gives, and then I ask why. And everyone still falls for it. Why is that the area of the base? What makes this not rectangle? What makes that a base? It's not on the bottom. Why am I able to call it the base? Because it's the shape that repeats. Doesn't matter where I put it. How many times did I hold up my coffee cup and say, what's the base? You guys all said the circle. Then I turned it sideways, and I can't turn this one sideways because the lid's broke because I dropped it in my garage. But when I turn it sideways, the base is still what? The circle. If I turn it, I'm going to risk it. This way, like the pool right there, what's the base? The circle. Everybody got it? So once I know that 67.5, what do I do next, all you people that didn't do it? He waited patiently.
Sorry, I did.
Yeah, okay, you did it differently. Did you get 191.15 or 191 and a quarter? Okay.
I did the volume for 2. I just separated into a.
So you separated into a rectangle prism and a triangle prism.
And then.
Yep, that's the other thing you can do, absolutely. So what did you do next, Sukman?
Multiplied it by 6.
multiplied it by 6 to get what? The whole volume, right? When you multiply that by, by 6, you get something like 400 and something. 405. So the pool is 405 meters cubed, yes? But am I filling it fully? How much am I filling it? 85%. So I got to multiply that by 0.85, and that comes out to something like 370 or something. 344.25 meters cubed.
Oh, that also works.
1.8 meters cubed per hour. So what do I do with that number and 1.8? Divide by 1.8. And I get 191.25, which of course is 191 hours and 15 minutes. Because a quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. Now, next question. 1 liter of water equals 1,000 centimeters cubed. How many liters of water to fill this pool?
1,000 centimeters is 10 meters.
We know that the pool is that many meters cubed, right? And I know that I need 1,000 centimeters cubed, right? So what do I have to do with this meters so I can work with this question?
Convert it to centimeters?
Thank you. I got to convert it to centimeters cubed, yes? How do I convert meters to centimeters cubed? I got to times 100. How many times? 3 times. Because I got to convert all 3 dimensions. So, it's 344.25 times 100. How far does that decimal move for times 100? 2 spaces. So I get 34,425. That covers 1 dimension. Then I got to do it again to cover the 2nd dimension. How far does that decimal move? Well, guys, when we multiplied by 100 here, we moved it twice. So how far do we move it here? Twice. What goes in the empty spaces? 0. So now I've got 3,442,500. That covers a 2nd dimension. I got to do it a 3rd time. What do I do with that decimal? Move it twice. And what do I put in the spaces? Zeros. So now I've got 344,250,000 centimeters cubed. 1 liter is 1,000 of those. I need liters, right? So I have to convert centimeters cubed to liters. All conversions are the same, yes? I multiply by the fraction. What do I want? Liters. What do I have? Centimeters cubed. What number goes where? 1 liter is 1,000 centimeters. What goes with the L?
1.
1. What goes with the centimeters?
1,000.
1,000. When the number's on the bottom, what do I do? Divide. So I'm dividing that by 1,000. What do I do with those 3 zeros and those 3 zeros?
Get rid of them.
Cancel. What's left? How many liters it will take to fill your pool? 344,250. Now, I have had answers for this question as low as 300 liters. My coffee cup is 300 liters. You have all been to a swimming pool, or it's 1 liter. You have all been to a swimming pool. Would 300 of those fill a swimming pool? Of course not. Right? You have to use your brain. You may do half a page of work and get an answer that makes no sense, but you will not hand that in to me, will you? Because before you write it down and say, this is my final answer, you need to stop and make sure it makes sense. A kid yesterday said 2. 2 liters to fill a swimming pool. 1 bottle of Coca-Cola Classic. You buy it at Safeway, it's this big, and 8 of your friends can have a glass. But if you pour it into a pool like the Weasley's tent at the World Cup, it fills the pool. Does everybody understand why I am bothered by this?
Yes.
Good. Next question. How many hockey pucks fill the net? I want to hear some answers. You're probably going to get it wrong because I warned you it was tricky. Who has an answer for me? Supin, you can't, because if you ask your sister for help, you're going to have the right answer. Oh, do you know how to do it? Because you asked your sister. Who's your sister?
She explained it.
Who's your sister?
She didn't go to this school.
Oh, okay.
She's in university now.
All right. Did she go to this school?
Well, she went to Hamilton.
Okay. All right. How do you do this question? How many of you used volume in some way?
I got the volume about the net and the hockey puck and then divided the net by the hockey puck.
So Aiden got the volume of the net. Then he got the volume of a single puck. And then he divided the volume of the net by the volume of a puck. Does that sound like it is a good idea? Yes or no? Those of you who didn't do it, is that a way that you would consider doing it? The net has empty space, which is a volume. The puck has a volume. And however many pucks fit in the net would be the volume of them. Yes? I'm going to tell you right now that that is wrong. Why? Yes, exactly, Billy Bob. See, I can read his mind. He's doing this. What does he mean?
Circle.
It's a circle. So if I look down on the top of a hockey net from above and I fill it with pucks, what is that right there?
Empty space.
Empty space. So can you do volume? No. So what do you got to do? A puck is a cylinder that was a crappy cylinder drawing, Myers. That is 2.54 with a diameter of 7.62. Right? How many dimensions does the hockey net have? It's a real life thing, guys. How many dimensions does the hockey net have? There's no trick here. 3. There is from the goal mouth backwards, yes? How long is that? Read the question. How deep is the net? 1 meter. Now the puck is measured in centimeters, so should I measure this as 1 meter? No, what should I make it? Centimeters. So this is 100 centimeters, yes? So how many pucks will fit this way? A puck is 7.62. I have 100 centimeters to fill. What math do I do? Division. 100 divided by 7.62. And what does that give you? Those of you who didn't do it should probably be writing this down because this is the type of question that shows me you understand math. It is a math class question. It's not a real life question, but it is a question that shows me you understand math. What do you get there? 13. Why did you only say 13? There's no way that divides perfectly.
It's 13.12.
Exactly. You can't have 0.12 of a puck, can you? So you got 13 pucks going backwards. I'll do the pucks in black, the net dimensions in red. How wide is the net? .22 meters. Okay. Should I leave it as meters? What should I make it? 122 centimeters. How many pucks will fit across? How big is a puck across? 7.62 because it's a diameter, right? So what do? I do 122 divided by 7.62. And what do I get there? 16. So I know that my base of my stack of pucks is 13 by 16, right? So how many pucks are on the ice? 13 by 16, which is what? Because length by width.
208.
There's 208 pucks on the ice. What is the third dimension of the net? I play goal and I'm very bad, so I'm used to seeing the back of the net.
1.83.
1.83. So how tall? That's 1.83. Do I leave it as 1.83? What do I make it? 183. How tall is a puck? 2.54. So what do I do with that 183? Divide by 2.54, and what do I get?
72.
72. So my 208 pucks will stack 72 high, won't they? Isn't that a prism?
Yes.
The area of the base is 208 pucks. What's the height? 72 pucks. What do I do with the area of the base and the height? Divide. What's every volume of every prism? Area of base times the height. Area of the base was 208. The height was 72. So the answer is 14,196.
14,976.
976. Everybody understand? Now let me ask you this. Aiden does the whole page of work doing volume and gives me an answer. What do I give him out of 4?
4. 3.
You think he should have a 3?
What is it out of 2?
It's out of 4. It's the same way we've been talking about every one of these questions all year, Max.
I did the math here, but I did the wrong math.
You did the math right for what you chose, but you did the wrong thing, right?
Yeah, a 2.
So what do you guys think I should give him on a scale, on the 1 to 4 scale? Does he understand the concept? He understands that he's got to fill up the net, so volume is important. But does he really understand the volume? And I'm not picking on you, Aiden. You have to understand, this is just how you guys are going to get assessed later in life.
I'm aware.
So what can I give him?
2.
You would give him 2? You'd say he's 50% of the way there? Even though he forgot about all this empty space? Okay.
Let's melt down this hockey puck.
I'll agree. I'll agree with that. I'm not incredibly happy with it, but I'll agree.
Personally, I'd say that I would get a 1 there.
I think it's more in the 1.5 area, right? Because yes, you did math, right? You found volumes, but really what math is finding the volume? Did he have to do anything? Does he get the formula? Do I supply you with the formula? Yes. How did he get his volumes? Did he do it in his head or did he use his calculator? He used his calculator. Is this calculator 10? Nope. So the only opportunity that any of you had to show me understanding with this concept is to recognize that volume of the puck couldn't work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, I would never give you a question this hard for assessment. I would never do that. But I want you to be aware of what I mean when I'm talking concepts versus math. Everybody understand? All right. Pardon? Okay. How much paper do I need for a can of soup? Where's the paper go? Around the sides. Any paper go on the top and bottom? No. So, is this a volume or surface area question? Surface area. Which is the first thing I should do with every single geometry question? Decide what is being asked, surface area or volume, and then what? Same thing we did yesterday. Every time we started a surface area question. What should I do? I should...
Sorry, yawn there, yeah. Wouldn't it be circumference times height to find the...
Well, I should...
side of the cylinder?
Yes, but shouldn't I write down the formula?
Right, so...
The
pi
formula...
times d.
2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, yes? Which part of the cylinder is the 2 pi r squareds? What is 1 pi r squared? Find the area of.
Why 2 pi RH?
Because. Trust me.
Why?
Look at your formula sheet if you do not believe me.
No, can you just do
Pi d. Yes, you could do pi d. That would work. But for a lot of people, they're needing that formula sheet. And the formula sheet doesn't say pi d.
Okay.
The formula sheet says 2 pi r. So, what part of the cylinder does that cover? The top and bottom. Do I need to care about the top and bottom? No. All I need to do is that one. Now, as Aidan says, 2 r's is the same as a diameter, isn't it? So you could have just done pi d times the height. That would have been fine. And that is, what's the d? 8.5. What's the height? 12. And then pi. 8.5 times 12 is 102 pi. To do 1 can of soup. How many cans of soup must I do? So what do I got to do with 102? I got to multiply it by 100,000, yes? So how many zeros do I have to add?
5 zeros.
5 zeros. 102 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. Pi. If I leave it as pi, that is done, yes? Can I call my print paper supplier and say, dude, I need 110,200,000 pi centimeters of paper, man, so I can paper the soup cans today. Can I do that? No. So in this question, in math class, is that the answer? In the real world, is that the answer? What do I got to do to get this in the real world? I got to get rid of that pi, yes? So I'm going to do 10,200,000 times pi, which would be, 32 million centimeters squared of paper. Right? All right. Now the next question required you to estimate. Well, 1 square of paper, one of these was basically 300 centimeters squared, right? Basically, agreed? And 300 centimeters is basically 5.5 centimeters by 5.5 centimeters, right? Not 5.5, dummy head. 15. Let me think. 17 is 289. 18 is 324. So 17.5 by 17.5. So if you made a square this big, that's enough to cover 1 can. How many of them would cover our classroom walls? That was the guess you had to make. So you had to think about how big our classroom was. Is our classroom a kilometer wide?
No.
What's a good estimate for the size of our classroom? Across here. 30 feet. Okay, so 10 meters. And you want to call it a square? That's fine. We're just estimating. So 10 by 10 on the ground, yeah? But we're papering the walls, aren't we? So what measurement also do I need? Height. Damn, sucks for you guys. We're on the 3rd floor with the fancy roof. I'm a nice guy. I know nobody did it. So let's just go up to that flat border that goes all the way around. What?
It says estimate how much of the walls would be covered. Can you just put it as a percentage of how much of the walls you actually would think would be covered? And since there's how many, can you just say 100% because you think that would be enough to cover all the walls?
That's a badass answer.
I just said all of them because I'm pretty sure that it's enough soup can labels to cover all the walls in this class.
I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? So Mason says our room is 10 meters by 10 meters, yes? That's his guess. That's okay. Now, this is in centimeters cubed, so what do I got to do to these?
Meters cubed?
I got to make them, they're already meters, so what do I got to do? Centimeters. So that's 1,000 centimeters by 1,000 centimeters, but we're putting paper on the walls, yes? So we need a height, don't we? How tall would you say is the room up to that flat border?
5 meters?
You want to call it 5 meters? No problem. So
Roughly.
that's cool. That's 500 centimeters, yeah?
Yeah.
So I got 1,000 in length, 500 in height. And how many of those walls are there? How many walls are in the room?
4.
4. So 1,000 times 500, 1,000 times 500 times 4 will give me how many square centimeters my walls are, yes?
And that is...
Yeah, I know, Jazz,
2
but,
million.
you know.
That's 2 million.
2 million. And I have how much? I have 31 million centimeters cubed. Could I fill my wall?
Yes.
How many times?
15 times
15
over.
times. Is there more than one way to do that question? Why is what I shaded in green so important? I need that explanation. Right? Because if you don't have 2 million, you say, no, you won't cover the walls. What is the only mark I could give you? 0. Because if you say, no, you can't cover the walls, that shows me you don't understand nothing of that whole question. Everybody understand? You got to start thinking about this, especially in the first 2 units. After the first 2 units, we get into a few units of just numbers. You don't need to worry about reasons. But then we get back into something that we need some more reasons for. So if having to think about your reasons is bothersome to you, don't worry. You only have another unit of it because we're already finished this one. I feel that the X Games should make guys ride bikes like this now. I think it would be so badass to see one of those things in the half pipe.
That'd be terrifying.
That would be so cool. I mean, those guys are too good on the regular bikes now. It's not even a challenge for them anymore. But seeing somebody ride one of them. So, how are you going to figure this out? Because nobody did it, so do it now. Go. Some of you did it, I know. If you did, you have some time off. Everybody else, ain't one of you did it. So do it now.
Yay.
Of course you can. It's washroom time. It's that special time of class where everybody's bladder amazingly needs to go to the washroom. Every single class, no matter if it's first block or second. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Zaro, you feel like home now? Yeah? It'll be gone in the day though, and it won't be thigh deep.
I like it. I can play soccer.
When this is done, we will go over it and you will write your quiz. I have your quiz right here. The quiz is precisely... Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I have many for just such an emergency. Still standing. I'm magic. The quiz, Mason, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open-ended questions. No multiple choice. Oh, Mr. Myers, how dare you make us do math in math class? You're an awful human being.
It's expected.
Can you have a what? Can you have a calculator? Of course you can. Not that one, because that one does weird stuff. That one, all the buttons are worn off. So,
Oh, this is mine.
which one?
This one.
Well, don't leave your stuff here.
Thank you.
How do you work with that calculator? All the buttons are blank.
Mine. I use it when
You have it memorized?
I have another one.
I see. How's it going, Kelvin? You can move wherever you need to, Mason. It's time to work on something. Do I ever make you stay in one space when you're working?
No.
No, move around. Talk to your friends. Figure it out.
My friend.
Because that's what I do.
Max is
Because more than one brain is better than one brain. Yes, Wong, it's bathroom time. Just to warn you all, I am giving you your quiz at 9:10, regardless of where we are on this. So please make sure you have been paying attention. Because I'm giving you your quiz regardless of whether or not I've gone over this or not.
I got 10.
Yeah, that's why I took
How many people have no idea how to start the beginning? The very first part. If the wheel turns, what? Yes, you need the circumference, don't you? So if I start riding right there and I ride and that wheel turns once, that's the distance I travel, yes? So find the circumference. You look on your data sheet and you see that circumference equals pi d. Holy smokes. Where are yours?
He's always here. Mine in the water. Yeah, I remember. He walks here around. I'm like, he kept taking it. That's so.
These are the kids that she says that she wants. Evan and Mason.
Yeah, Mason's fine. He's up here with these guys working hard. Peyton and Evan are those two.
Remember them from about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will take them down to their.
Yeah, we'll do that at 9:10. They will probably need the rest of the period. If you get a chance to throw it back up here, I'll mark them.
1 second.
Also be marking.
And do
They have a data booklet.
are they allowed to take anything with them?
No, they can take the data
Okay.
booklet, and they shouldn't be using any of their notes. They should just be using this, which they should have.
Okay.
Some of them won't.
Okay. Perfect.
The only reason, I mean, my quiz doesn't count for anything anyway, but just for practice. But the only reason I use this is if they talk through
Okay.
affects everybody.
Sounds good.
All right.
How far can you travel one word? You can measure that by
All right. What is the answer to A1? Circumference equals pi d. What is my d? 52. Pi times 52 is what? 163.36 inches, yes? But we don't like the 3.6 because it's imperial, right? So we're going to say 164 inches, right? Because we would get to 164, yes? We're going to finish that up. Now I want the answer in feet and inches. So what do I do with that 164 to get it to feet? What do I multiply it by? What do I want? What do I want? It's only highlighted. Don't all answer at once. What do I want? Feet. So feet goes in the numerator, inches goes in the denominator. What goes here, 1 or 12? 1, 12. Numbers on the bottom, so what do? Divide. What's 164 divided by 12? It is 13 feet and a decimal, yes?
7 inches.
Right? The decimal is 0.667. 6 repeating, yes? What fraction is that? It's 2/3, isn't it? What's a third of a foot? 4 inches. I need 2/3 of a foot. What's that? 8 inches. So I will go 13 feet, 8 inches.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I did points.
Now, how do I take that number or that number and move it to centimeters? Which is easier to move to centimeters, the decimal or the inches and centimeters?
Inches.
Which one will move better? If I move feet and inches, I got to convert two things, don't I? If I leave it as a decimal in my conversion, can I leave it as a decimal? Yeah. So I have 13.67 feet, and I want centimeters. And I have feet. What goes where? 30.48 and 1 foot. Numbers on the top, so what do? Multiply. What's my answer? What's my answer? He waited patiently for a class of 30 to punch 8 numbers into a calculator. 416.56 centimeters. I want meters and centimeters. To go from meters to centimeters, where does that decimal have to go? How many spaces does it move? 2. In which direction? To the left. 4 meters, 16 centimeters. I just did 4 meters and 16 meters. There. Now, how many times does he have to turn the large wheel to go a kilometer? Well, if one turn is 4.16 meters, how long is a kilometer? 1,000. What math do I have to do with 1,000 and 4.16? 1,000 divided by 4.16, and what do I get? 240.38. So if I want to go a kilometer, I got to make sure I turn that wheel 241 times. Last question. How many times will the small wheel go around if I do a kilometer? It's the exact same question, but you're working with the small wheel now. So instead of 52 pi for the circumference, I got to do 18 pi, then I do all the same work. Right? So 18 pi gets me the inches. I don't know where pi is on this calculator. Oh, there it is. Thank you. 56.54 inches. But I don't want inches, do I? Why? Because I need to get that to meters, right? So feet to meters. I want meters. I have feet. So it's 1 foot is 0.3048 meters. Numbers on the top, so it's multiply. Equals 17.2 what? .56 inches times point. No, that's wrong. 1 foot is 0.3048 meters. So 56.54 times 0.3048 is 17.2. That's not right. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, duh. Okay. Then what? That's how many meters the first one, the wheel will turn. Then what? 1,000 divided by that. And that gets me the number. And then we are done our unit. Oops, I lost it. So, we are finished all the work. You have one more quiz to write to make sure you know what you are doing. Then tomorrow you are going to start your review. Tomorrow is a short day. 1 second, Zara. Tomorrow is a short day. You will not finish your review tomorrow in class. You won't. So, you'll start it tomorrow. You'll finish it tomorrow night. We'll mark it Friday, and we'll do background to trigonometry on Friday. Everybody cool? When's your test? Tuesday. So it is second block. So I do not test you first thing in the morning. Everybody good?
Oh, so we bring it home?
What? The quiz? No. You'll get the test on Tuesday morning, and you'll write it in Tuesday's class. You bring the quiz home, and you bring the review home, yes.
Tuesday tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's Thursday, Zara.
Oh, Tuesday next week.
Oui. Jeudi. Okay? Okay. Everybody clear your desks, because we're doing our quiz. You need your data booklet out, please. You need your data booklet, a pencil, and an eraser. Listen to me carefully. When you finish this quiz, it is only 5 questions. You will probably finish before the end of class. If you look in your Outrageous Orchid book and you go to page 44, you will see the measurement review. You start on that if you finish your quiz. Is that clear? It is not homework. We will not be marking it until Friday. Unless everybody gets it done tomorrow, which doesn't usually happen. Okay? Zara. I don't think so, because I give you all the formulas. I don't think any of this should be difficult, because I have done a very good job of explaining it. And I have videos for you to watch over and over again. And as you can see, just like I did today, I slid back on my notes and I found every single answer you needed. Where are all the answers you need to do your test? Written in your notebook or recorded on YouTube. If you want to know how to do the test, all you have to do is review it. Or, as we say in school, study. I'm going to bring around the quiz. You have the rest of the class to finish it. If everybody gets done before the end of class, we'll mark it today. If not, I will take it in and we will mark it tomorrow as part of our review day. Okay? Remember, quizzes do not count for marks, but you should still treat them like a test. So you can see what you need to study to get decent marks on the things that you are being assessed on. Yeah? Yeah. Read the questions carefully. Do not find me surface area if the question asks for volume. Do not find me volume if the question asks for surface area. All right? If I'm asking you to fill a swimming pool with jello, that's volume. If I'm asking you to paint a swimming pool, that's surface area. Remember those things. Understand what the concepts that we are studying are. Take one, pass them back. Jeremy will pass it over to Billy Bob. Billy Bob will pass them forward. Mason will take one here and pass them that way. Mike will pass it over to Caitlin. Caitlin will pass them forward, and I'll get all the extras right here where they belong. Go. You may ask Kelvin and myself questions for clarification. You may not. You may not ask Kelvin or myself any question that is mathematical in nature. Because if you do not know what math you are supposed to... That way. Theirs is going to come over there. You may not ask anything mathematical in nature, because if you do not know the math that you need to do on that question, then you don't need to get any marks for that question, because this is a math class. Thank you, Quana. Fine work. Thank you, Caitlin. Fine work. Go. Quizzes are out. Stop talking. Oh, thank you, Quana. If you do not have your data booklet, for whatever reason, I am putting the formulas on the screen for that. Covers all the shapes in this quiz. I will even rewrite this one the way that I like to write it. 4 pi r cubed over 3. I don't think there's any spheres on this. There aren't, so it doesn't matter. There's a hemisphere. If you need a calculator, I have one here.
Oh, can I have one?
Don't give it to the lineman.
Oh, good call.
Why? Well, you can why would
I was going to come over and block the calculator, but then you mentioned that you were busted up. That's all right. I got beaten up enough yesterday. I could put on some light Sabaton math music for you if you want. Whew. You want to do the quiz, Kelvin? Okay. You did it 2 years ago anyway. That's fine. That's not a math question. He had to do the math to get there. Do you leave your answers in pi? How many times have I said that? Take a guess.
17 times.
Okay. And what did I say 17 times? In math class, how am I happy if you leave your answers? So why are you asking? Do your math. Mm-hmm. Answer.
I know you said it in sound, but is this untitled in the middle? Or is it
That you cannot ask me. Look on your data booklet. It actually shows it, Zaro. Look at the picture of a cone or a pyramid. See, the trouble with snow is that at 5 a.m. it wasn't a snow day. But if it snows all day, we're screwed. See, what happens is they decide at 1 o'clock that no, it's too snowy for the buses to run.
Well, they're looking at like 12 and say, hey, it's going to keep on snowing when we get too bad for the buses. That's what they should do. Because maybe that's what they're going to do.
My favorite is when they say it's too dangerous for the buses to run, but everybody has to go to school. They've done that a couple of times since I've been here. We're not running any buses, but it's too dangerous for buses to be on the road. But all you teachers, get to school.
I did that. I had that when I was at the traditional school. And I took the bus over there. So it's like, so everybody.
Remember, there are multiple marks available for every question. There is no need to leave a question blank. The formulas are behind me. At the very least, you can fill in some formulas and get yourself some credit. I'm okay. Coffee went down the wrong hole. Now my lungs are filled with coffee. Well, not really, because then I'd be drowned in coffee. You're in charge. How were they, Calvin? Did I terminate Extreme Prejudice?
They were terrible.
They were? They looked like bad kids. Bad seeds, all of them.
Why'd you write the answers on 2 different pages?
Because I forgot that this was the honors paper, which is slightly different if you read the back, see? Oh wait, that's the real one. This is the honors one, see? I changed it slightly. I gave it 2 feet, and then I squared it. We're gonna do it right. They're all gonna say 0.304. You know how many times have I said both dimensions?
Mr. Myers,
Mr. Fonseca.
you wouldn't believe how terrible it was. Arnold Schwarzenegger came in shooting up plays looking for Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor. Yeah. It was 4 questions, guys. I did it in my head in 20 seconds.
Well, you've done this so many times.
I mean, in your head in like 15 seconds sounds a little bit of a stretch, but for some of them,
It wasn't that much of a stretch. Kelvin sat there while I did it.
if you have the formulas memorized, yeah,
Yes, having the formulas memorized is a big
it's
help.
a lot faster. Plus, if you're not paranoid and constantly checking to make sure you're doing this right, then
Yeah, but if you'd done all your practice, you wouldn't need to be paranoid and check, would you?
I'm always paranoid.
Well, that's your hang up, not mine, brother.
The last one was easy to solve, but some of them were more difficult, so I would like feeling paranoid, like it can't be that easy.
Sometimes it is, man. All the math we do in this course is add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Doesn't get much easier than add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
I still can't find decimals.
You can divide decimals.
Not
Just
in my
make
head.
them whole numbers, do the division. Then count the decimal places that you need. Same as multiplying.
It's easier when they're fractions.
It is easier when they're fractions. Everything is easier with fractions. But you guys insist on turning everything into decimals so you can use your calculators. Even though fractions are way easier to deal with. A million times easier to deal with.
Didn't we have this discussion earlier where most people hate fractions?
Yes,
I hate
everybody
decimals,
hates fractions.
But like a few people, and me included, said that we hated decimals and preferred fractions.
You're weird. That's your hang up, brother, not mine.
It's a YP, not an MP.
I know. I understood the acronym. I am not acronymically challenged. There is still 6 minutes left in class. If you are finished, we are obviously not going to be marking this today. You may bring it to me now, and we will mark it tomorrow in class if you are done. Nice job, Avery. How do you know that?
Because
Why would you say something so hurtful about yourself? Caitlin. Pardon me? No. It's an open door. It's air. You can't paint air. I don't know about you guys, but I can't paint air. Paint air. No. You can bend air. Haven't you seen the movie? It's called The Last Airbender. It was a piece of crap. The cartoon was so good. Did you watch the cartoon? Oh, the cartoon was so good, man. I never missed it. The Last Airbender movie? Yeah, it's a piece of garbage. Don't watch it. If you like the cartoon, do not watch the movie. Oh, the movie's a piece of crap. The cartoon is so good. The cartoon